Technology is evolving at an unimaginable pace. Transformation is the key to progress. Milestones are on a vertical scale. On this timeline to the future, where does your business stand? Sailotech is dedicated to helping you transform forward faster. We give wings to enterprises by converging intelligent business and effective applications. Our solutions are tailor-made to suit your industry ecosystem. We constantly elevate our standard and quality as our exceptional values provide the thrust. Commitment is the cornerstone of our work culture, and we leave no stone unturned to deliver. We're a multidisciplinary team with expertise in diverse domains. Our leadership team comes with 500+ man-years of industry association. Collaborating with Sailotech means collaborating with seasoned, innovative minds that see beyond boundaries, a fact that reflects in our resourceful service model. Your business deserves to be at the pinnacle, and we have the strong vision to take it there. We ensure you don't just lead a path, but set new ones. Our foundation is a fusion of futuristic technology, efficient manpower, and domain expertise. Simply put, we're in the business of re-engineering your business so it can gain the desired edge. Because today, you're not just competing on price, you're competing on value. Our ERP experts ensure that every system you deploy responds accurately and achieves promised benefits. We excel in the art of thinking with advanced analytics and data science by providing actionable business insights. We help you extend scalability, reliability, and resilience across your business by paralleling your data with your organizational goals. It gives you the desired competitive advantage and helps you protect your investments. Our mission is to benefit enterprises by inventing technologies and management systems that help you execute your goals to perfection and reach higher benchmarks. Our niche is helping you carve an unshakable edge in this highly competitive environment. We believe in nurturing partnerships into long-term relationships that are built on trust and commitment.
Good evening and good morning. Very interesting discussion today. The savings as well as success. Thank you all for joining us in this interesting session. We just went through an interesting video of Sailotech. We do a lot of interesting things. Guys, we have been successful in achieving these goals. So just quickly, I wanted to touch upon few things. How exactly you perceive the savings. This is very important. How exactly you perceive success? How exactly you perceive digitalization? This is very important to understand, and to put that in a proper frame is very important. That's where the success comes in, because most of the challenges and the projects that we have seen, it goes into multiple months and years together. So it depends that like you are totally focused on what exactly you intend to achieve. So having said that, in this process, I just want to take you through a small journey, how exactly we perceive adoption and how to define the success of it. I'll share my screen quickly. Yeah, I believe you are able to see my screen. I just run this thing. So this is just a rough sketch of what exactly I'm talking about. As a business, as an organization, you intend and you have multiple departments working closely with each other, which includes finance, supply chain, manufacturing, logistics, inventory, after sales, human resource, and whatnot. Say projects, you're doing projects, there's a front office, CRM, uh, which is connecting with your customer and the supplier. So these are the multiple different departments that are connecting to each other. They are working closely with each other. They are coordinating. They are integrated. A lot of information exchange is happening. That's what is your business. That's what is the value chain in which like you intend to add value. So in this process, there are a lot of values created in the form of a finished product. It could be a service or it could be a product, and you just get into the other side of it. So to enable these things, you need applications which are very which you want. You need applications, and the applications generate a lot of data from where you build the insights, and you try to get into the and merge them and bring in the intelligence. And to enable all these things, the underlying core layer that you need is the technology. So this is what I understand, and I believe this is straightforward. Simply put, the way it is, it's an organization, a small, big. It could be a global with multiple sites. It could be a smaller with this one. But end of it, you need all these things, irrespective of whether you are in a manufacturing, you are in a you are into a pharma, you are into a hospitality, or whatnot, or asset management, or anything. So if you agree with this one, it's very interesting. Like I'll take you through a journey, what exactly we perceive, and different terms and terminologies also will be introduced as a part of this particular small session. Uh, where once you understand this configuration, the way the whole thing is working, the business, the applications, the data, and the technology, it will be much easier to adopt a technology because it's evolving, it's fast, and within no time you will lose the pace. So you have to be very, very agile with respect to that, right? And anytime, please do share your messages to me. I'll be very overwhelmed to respond to your messages as you said it. So myself, Karthik Chintalpati, I work as a more into the enterprise solutions and sales part of it, and has been doing this with multiple different entities and organizations and vertical, and has been and proud that I am acknowledged along with the organization for the services that we offer and the approach with which we offer. So it's not just the services, right? So going into this small journey that I just wanted to take you. So business, application, data, and the technology. Now the next level that we look at it is like, let's dig little deeper how exactly they are. So when you say business, if I just break it into pieces, there is a set of processes, there are a set of activities and tasks. That's a business in which you do, which can be, as I said, like with different departments, it's working. Similarly, there are applications which are supporting these processes and activities, which could be a custom, which could be commercial off the shelf, could be multiple various tools, like name it, like there are millions and millions of products and tools are available, which are actually generating a lot of data. Now, these data need to be collected, they are organized, they are safeguarded, needs to be distributed. So multiple ways and means you're working on the data. And underlying supporting all these things, you have the technology layer where you have the systems, you have the networks, you have the infrastructure. Now everybody talks about cloud and this thing. So this is how I just break it down into multiple things, and which I believe nothing new that I've introduced over here. The next level that comes in is how exactly this base layer of application data and technology works out is what we are talking about right now is an automation. Now automation, to put it in a simple way, is automation anything that has a standard input and a standard output, which I can define, which I can quantify, should be automated. That's how I look at. And I'll say, like, we are getting into the next level. That next level of AI and ML comes in when on top of this automation we try to build the intelligence. Now this intelligence is what I call it as an on the artificial intelligence side of it, where you add your own a layer of it, where basis of different permutation and combinations of inputs and outputs, you build a layer of intelligence on it. And this is where, like, you get into these multiple use cases. You consider a lot of workflows getting created because a lot of stakeholders are interacting and they are working closely with each other. Then of course the process management, you have to make sure like it's working. So now we understand the technology, application data, automation, the intelligence coming in. And this intelligence, end of it, if you look at it, at the top of the tower is always the business sitting over there. Nobody is telling the business that technology is running the business. All these parts that we are talking about, the intelligence, automation, the application data, there are facilitators. Business is what processes and activities, you define it and you execute it, right? And in this process, if I just try to create a little more into the way data is getting transformed and built, I say at the lower level, it's all information. And slowly what happens is, as and when you are automating and you creating the intelligence, it gets into a level of knowledge, means little more purified, little more structured, that's thing. and then the outcome of this information and the knowledge is the wisdom, which actually helps the business in taking better decisions. Now decisions come in, a decision always, it's not necessary that it will have a single outcome. There are multiple outcomes of which you should be aware that which one is the best one to pick. That comes when you have the intelligence layer built on top of it, right? So I believe you agree with this part. Very straightforward, put in information, knowledge, wisdom. Now, if I get into the operation side of it, the business should drive like the way, as I said, the technology is agile, it's changing forms, it's like every 6 months something new comes in. But end of it, since the technology is not driving, the driver's seat always has to be with the business. Means the processes and activities that are defined, which is as part of your value chain, which you have defined. So it actually is driven by the business. And when I say operations are something which are at the low level, which are actually conducted and executed at the application level. Means the end users or the business users or the key users or the stakeholders, they are actually utilizing the applications to execute their day-to-day operations. Means the way these processes and activities are executed. So the operations are coming from the applications, these applications which are sitting on top of the technology, means the systems, networks. Similarly, when the automations is happening, automation, not a, I'll say, like say it's again as a part of the applications that you're doing. You're not trying to automate something which is over and above the applications. You're trying to automate the 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 standard or the different tasks that are executed in the application. And in this, and the last one is supports. All these things, as I said, which I just been mentioning, this combination of application, data, and technology is supporting business. So business is driving it, and all these application, data, and technology are supporting it. Right? Now, let's get to the next level of it. Now we understand how exactly organization operates or works. The next level of it is how exactly I should identify and get into the next level of how exactly I should get into this automation and intelligence. So at the technology level, we talk about this digitization. Now, digitization is a very interesting term where, simply put in, it's something that there is something, say, a paper or something as a person dependent activity or a task that is happening, which actually is being digitized, and now it's being put into the binary mode 1 and 0, which can be consumed by a process which is defined within the application. So any manual task that is being executed, now when it becomes a software, when it's mapped into the software, this is called a digitization. And that's where the data gets generated, which is digitizing of the data. The next level of it is the digitalization, which is more into the processes and which talks more about the automation and the intelligence part of it, where, as I said, automating a process means which is already mapped within an application or multiple combination of applications. That's where the digitalization comes in. And I have seen that you most of the time digitalization happens when you're integrating two applications, because we have seen in the traditional world where applications were working in silos. Now this silos part is being broken, and then when the integration happens, it actually opens up very new bright opportunities where things, the information exchange that is happening seamlessly and automated. So this is digitalization. And the final level that hits the business is the transformation, means how exactly we are utilizing this whole gamut of different integrated functionality or the digitalization that is happening across. That's where the transformation comes in. So step by step, if I say, digitization starts with the digitization where data is getting created, digitalization where the process connecting the dots is happening. Final transformation is like how actually this digitalization is being absorbed into the business, where we are finding that it's transforming into savings or revenue. See, end of it, transformation is the one where you should talk about, you have to look into the process of whether it's converting into dollar or the currency. That's a very important. And if you don't do that, I'll say it's just the digitalization that you're doing it. Most of the time digitalization happens at a lower front, at a smaller scale, but transformation is something which actually gets into next level of again a digitalization. Possibly I'll say like this is a different vicious circle that it goes into, where it introduces new level of digitalization, and again the transformation, level 1, level 2, level 3, it goes on like that. Now, if I just put it together, now this is where we looked into the part where how exactly we are digitalization and transformation, where we are using technology, we are using applications, data, and everything. Important part is there: is everything working as defined? Are you sure about that? Now, this is where the big challenge comes in, that we have been changing everything. We have been consuming a lot of data, generating data, consuming data, intelligence, automation. Now, how exactly to ensure that this whole thing is working as per the defined, as per my processes and activities which I have defined in my organization? That's where the testing comes in, means which actually should test this whole pyramid of across. And this is the only tool that business has, which through which business ensures that the whole process is working as per defined template. This is very essential part of it. Say if I call it a term like regression testing. Regression is a very interesting term which has been coined, where end-to-end process testing is being done, where it could be that multiple departments interacting with each other, how exactly a data be is like. And end of it, I'll say this: these terms on the right side which I have mentioned, this is primarily goes into this part of it: is the intelligence adequate? What I'm generating, that I'm consuming, is there a better way of doing? Is the automation working as I assured? Because automation, what happens is it works behind the scene, so I need to be assured that it's working properly. Applications, most of the applications today are on cloud. Now if they are on cloud, so OEM is maintaining them. So is the my processes properly mapped to these cloud applications, or the custom software, is it working as it is? Because you never know, somebody uh, for various reasons there could be some changes in the environment, something. So those things need to be tested. So that's where the regression testing comes in. And regression testing at the business level, they don't get into the level, they should not get into the level of checking the network or the infrastructure or cloud. Primarily the regression testing is all about data driven testing. Means what data I'm generating, what data is being consumed, and what data is being executed, and the outcome of it. And that's where the regression comes in. Functional testing, the next level, which I break down, is functional testing. Security testing means, am my data secure? The integration testing, because that's where the automation and the intelligence are getting generated. So there are various more testings, but my best understanding is functional testing, security testing, and the integration testing. There is no technology involved over there. It's all data driven till here. And the final layer, the lowest layer, is where you need to ensure that the base of all this digitalization, the technology and the digitization that is happening, is this happening properly? Is it like, is if I'm generating a lot of data, see end of it, if uh, I have terabytes of data and it's affecting the performance of the application. Now, the effect of it is the repercussions go upside. Applications will go slow, automation will go slow, intelligence will be with a lag, and directly it affects the business and the activities. So I need to check my infrastructure if it's working good. End of it, even if it's outsourced, it's my responsibility to test it, the infrastructure setting. Load testing, as I talked about, I need to ensure that even with the huge amount of data that I'm generating from from man, material, machines, whatever, and the way the finances, everything, all the data that is coming in and sitting into into your infrastructure, is it ensuring that the application and data layer or the intelligence is properly governed? Second thing, now the way you are accessing your applications, I have seen this part of it. There is a dependency on a browser. Now again, the browser, they're all open source. You don't buy license. I never, up to my best of my knowledge, Chrome browser or the Edge or any other Netscape, I never bought a license to it. So having said that, end of it, somewhere we are dependent on these browsers when we are accessing these applications, data, and the other things. So browser compatibility testing, you have to do it. Uh, This again could go into the infrastructure team, like they do this part, they ensure that those updates and upgrades are not happening to it. But end of it, many a times applications upgrade and they demand new versions of the browser, so we need to ensure that browser compatibility. The last one, which I believe very strong, is that when you're doing a testing, you don't test your production environment, you actually test your test environment, which is a look-alike and as well as quite similar to what your production is. So the test environment testing is very important, that you are actually executing all your regression, functional, security, integration, all your testings are happening in an environment which is quite similar to your production environment, so that anytime you are in a position to cover your risks. So I believe, and this is where the interesting part is, these testings have been happening. It's not something new that I'm talking about. They have been there, they have been happening. It's just that, like, you should automate them. You cannot test them, sit down and do it manually, and they have to be tested because different applications have different days and dates with which they are updated, they are upgraded. Technology keeps changing. So at a click of a button, they should execute your processes and activities. So now, thing is, your processes and activities should be tested end to end. Your applications should be tested technically. Maybe you don't need to test thoroughly about that, because anyway you're testing your processes and activities. Technically you can test. Infrastructure testing has to be done. And when this is, and this particular part understanding that you do, now the important part here is, who should do this for me? As if I'm the organization, if I'm not doing manually, who should do it? This is where, like, we come in, and Sailotech has this expertise where we come from the domain. I understand your business processes. That's where the biggest thing comes in. I know that how exactly your operations are working. I know, means, as a Sailotech, we know what is a technology, we know what is intelligence, we know what is automation, we know how to work around or how to work through different applications. We know the importance of your data, how exactly it's being collected, it's are being organized, and it's being distributed, and the various applications, the way it should be tested. So you actually need a good partner. End of it. Don't fall for this, that there is something already built for it. Your business is unique. Don't expect that you will get something built for you. You always have to map your processes to a third party application, which is an ERP. You have to map to it, but end of it, a ERP doesn't run your business. You run your processes and activities which are mapped to ERP. So what I say is, that's where our skill set comes in. We just sit with you, we build your test cases, we script them, we educate you, and then we produce these results in a way that you anticipate. And the important and the critical part that I want to say is, we transfer the ownership back to you, so that you are in guard of it and you drive it. This is where very essential and very important part of it, that you are driving your business. That's where we are different. That's the reason we say, like, we transform you forward and faster. So that's the thing from my end. Thank you, guys. It has been very interesting discussion, I believe, and I've given a lot of insights. And if you think like this adds value to what you are assuming, and your way of digitization, do talk to us. Do leave us message where we can get back to you, and we can talk through. There's We have built a lot of frameworks, a lot of interesting use cases that we have, a lot of learnings we have. This is very important, and that's what we want to share back with you. Thank you all. If you like the video, do share it across. It's very interesting, and talk to you very soon.